Well, that was an intense night. Haha, intense. That storm was pretty severe for a couple hours, and then it just rained steady all night long. So it's about 5:50 now. The rain has finally stopped. I think it stopped around 4 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to pack up, and I've got 2 big climbs this morning I've got to tackle before the weather comes back through. So I'm gonna get going. Oh, and this is my morning view. Hiking above the clouds at the moment. And you can hear me breathing heavy. I'm starting my day with a big climb, and then 2 even bigger climbs right after. Clear to a cloud blowing in on me, and I hear rolling thunder bit in the distance, but I gotta get across this ridge because I'm up extremely high, no trees, nowhere to go. Just go quick. I'm stuck. I gotta wait for this weather to move through, and hopefully it does, because I'm by a little bush, but everything up above me is high and completely exposed. So, come on, weather. Oh, I'm so glad to be off of that big mountain. When I stop for lunch, I'll tell you about it, but that was a very dangerous situation I got myself into. But fortunately, I'm down to safety. I just need to get somewhere where I can warm up. Oh, I really want to find a spot to stop and add a layer on, my mid layer under my rain jacket, because I'm pretty cold right now. I just was wet for too long and didn't have enough calories. I just ate a snack, so that should help too. I don't even know what the mountain looks like that I was up on. I think it was, oh, you can't even see it because the clouds are coming back. I think I just climbed up that one. So these are the 2 mountains I came up and over, and I'll tell you about, I walked that ridge in between them too. I'll tell you about it when I stop for this cute little thing. Oh, sorry, buddy. So this should be approaching Piedra Pass. A little easier than the ones I did this morning. Jeez. It's a lot of rock. I mean, I spoke too soon. Gotta do this little short snow traverse. But the snow sucks. So I see some footprints and I'll just try to step in them. That seems to work the best. You just don't want to slip. Not good. Oh yeah, this thing just keeps going. So, taking a quick lunch break, but wanted to go over what happened earlier today. I got in a really bad position, and it can happen so quick up here. But I started off this morning, and I had several big climbs, and the weather, it rained all night, but it stopped around 4, and it was clearing, and there was some fog in the area, but nothing that looked like rain. And I had gotten a little forecast on my Garmin, and it didn't say that it was going to start till later. So I got packed up and got out of camp and got up the first climb and got onto this ridge, and then out of nowhere this huge storm hit. I didn't even have time to take my pack off or get any of my rain gear out. Fortunately, I was wearing my jacket already just for warmth, but I was soaked instantly. My gloves, my little sun gloves were soaked, my pants were soaked. I was getting pelted with wind and hail, and on the way up I had to cross a couple of steep snowbanks, and there was no way I was going to be able to do that in the rain and going downhill. It was really sketchy already. So I started going really fast along the ridge, but the wind was blowing, the hail started coming harder. Found a little bush down off the ridge line, so I ran for that, and I just hunkered down and put my head down between my knees to block the hail until it let up. But I started getting cold, really cold, and the wind was just amplifying it, and it was still raining, and so I decided I needed to keep moving and find better cover. So I went back up to the ridge line, took off across it to where I saw some big rock outcroppings, and I got up against the rock just to block me from the wind and the rain a little bit. And my hands, I couldn't feel them, couldn't use them, they were useless, and couldn't even undo the straps on my pack to get anything out of it. So I knew that was a big problem, and I was really cold and getting hypothermic. So I opened my rain jacket and stuck my hands in underneath my armpits for a while, and that actually worked. I got my feeling back in my hands, and then I real quickly, while I could still use them, opened up my pack, got in the back, got my rain mitts out, and so that would at least block the wind and the water off my hands and give them a chance to recover. And then got my pack back on and waited until the rain let down, and then I looked over because I had a huge, massive climb too. It was a big climb, and then you dip down and walked a ridge and then climb back up. Just under 13,000 feet. And so I did not want to do that in the weather, and I wasn't sure what the weather was going to do. But looking at it, it looked like the worst weather would be if I tried to turn around and go back. And I had those snow traverses that were going to be really nasty after getting so wet. So I decided to go ahead and push uphill because that would at least warm up my body temperature faster, and hope that what I was seeing was just a cloud and fog and no more rain. And it looked that way, and I didn't hear any more thunder or anything. That had moved off. So I took that calculated risk. Fortunately, it paid off, but it was a cold, long, hard climb up. I couldn't see anything, and that's probably fortunate because the trail is not wide. On the CDT, it's very narrow and it's not well graded, and it was a sketchy climb. And I was just happy to get up and over and come back down the other side and make it down to a little bit warmer temperatures and get out of that wind. So it took me a while to warm back up, but I'm finally got my body temperature back. I just ate some more food to get some more calories in me, and I'm going to hit the trail and try to beat any weather that may come through this afternoon to get to my campsite, which is about 7 miles from here. So scary, but at least I was able to keep my composure and not completely lose it, because I did get pretty scared and concerned at one moment. Prayed, and I'm sure there was some divine intervention that I did not get hit by another nasty storm when I was climbing up to 13,000 feet, because that would have been really, really bad. But I was kind of low on options at that point. So glad I'm safe, glad that's over with. I am going to really be watching the weather before going up on any more big climbs, though, that's for sure. Right after I finished that lunch, it just shot straight up. CDT does not know what a switchback is. I am back up over 12,000 feet. There's the trail. It goes over that little line over there. Found a cool little spot to collect water. That little waterfall makes it quick and easy. And it's all snow melt. That rock looks cool. And there's still snow down in the creek. It's types of crossings that are just terrifying, because if you slip, it is a long way down. That's where I videoed and said a fall would be dangerous. The trail just comes straight across, down and across the snow. Now my trail is going downhill for a little bit. Probably back into there. Man, pretty views all around. These are some really nice views walking along here. see I'm gonna climb up on this ridge line and I have to climb up that steep snowbank, and I see some footprints dug in, but that is gonna be sketchy. At least it's not too long. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, yeah. So soft. Ridiculous. Okay. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna make it. Oh, I just ran away from this storm. And thank goodness it is moving away from me and I am finally in sunshine. It's nasty. And I just got my last water from this little melted snow puddle because I don't think there's any more between now and when I get to camp in about 4 miles. I am less than 1.5 miles from camp and I've got to deal with all these. This is the trail right now. Over, under, around. Oh, that's a cool cairn. That was a heck of a climb. This is what a burn area looks like.